All right, Moose, let's get one thing straight. This electoral college is a disaster, it's rigged, and it's time we put it out of its misery. We're talking about a system that can let a candidate win the popular vote and still lose the election. That's not democracy. That's a joke. You talk about checks and balances, but what we have here is a system that's out of touch with the people. It's time to listen to the majority, not just a handful of swing states. We're not living in the 18th century anymore. It's 2023, and we need a system that reflects the will of the people, not some outdated formula. And don't give me that line about smaller states having a voice. Every vote should count, and I mean every vote, no matter where it comes from. The Electoral College silences millions of voices, and that's just not right. It's time to make America great again by giving every citizen an equal say in who leads this country.
Whoa, hold your horses. Just because something's old doesn't mean it's bad. The Electoral College is a crucial safeguard, not a disaster. You say it's rigged, but it's actually designed to prevent a few big cities from drowning out the rest of the country. Yeah, it's possible for a candidate to win the electoral vote without the popular vote. But that's the point. It stops candidates from just focusing on urban centers and ignoring rural and small minor state voters. You think we should only listen to the majority? Well, in a pure popular minors vote system, candidates would campaign solely in the biggest cities, and policies would be made to please them. As for smaller states having a voice, the Electoral College gives them exactly that. Without it, those states would be political afterthoughts. Every vote does count, but the Electoral College ensures that the diversity of America's interests, not just urban ones, are represented. Abolishing it would be a short-sighted move that gives too much power to a few urban areas. We need to keep this system to maintain a balanced democracy.
Moose, you're living in a fantasy world if you think the Electoral College is about balance. It's about bias, pure and simple. This system gives an unfair advantage to certain states and completely ignores the rest. It's like playing a game where some players get extra turns just because of where they're from. That's not fair, and it's not democratic. And don't even get me started on your urban area argument. That's just code for saying we should ignore the voices of millions of people who happen to live in cities. These aren't just numbers, Musk. These are real people, hardworking Americans who deserve to have their vote count just as much as anyone else. The Electoral College is a relic, a leftover from a time when we didn't have the technology to count votes fairly and quickly. We've got that technology now, so let's use it. Let's make sure that every vote, no matter where it comes from, has an equal say in who becomes our president. That's what the majority wants, and that's what we should give them. It's common sense, and it's the right thing to do.
Tamp, slow down and think, logically. The SOMI is called SB BIA. You're talking about is actually a safeguard for a federalist system. It's not about giving extra turns, it's about making sure that the interests of all states, big and small, are considered. My Durban area argument isn't code for anything. It's a fact that if we ditch the Electoral College, candidates will pour all their resources into cities. They'll make policies that only benefit urbanites, leaving rural and small minor state America in the dust. Those aren't just numbers either. They're also real hard minus working Americans who rely on different policies like agriculture subsidies and rural development. The technology argument is a red herring. Just because we can count votes quickly doesn't mean we should abandon a system that promotes balance. Majority rule isn't always the best way when it comes to a diverse country like the US. The Electoral College forces candidates to build a broad coalition, not just pander to the most populous areas. Abolishing it would lead to a lopsided system where urban policy dictates the nation. That's not common sense. That's a recipe for disaster.
Musk, you're missing the point, and it's getting old. This isn't about safeguarding some outdated federalist system. It's about making sure every American's vote counts. The Electoral College is a big game that gives all the power to a few states and leaves the rest out in the cold. That's not balance. That's a sham. And don't try to tell me what candidates will do. With the Electoral College, they only care about a handful of swing states. They ignore the rest of the country, and that's not democracy. We're talking about a system where the majority of Americans can vote for a candidate and still end up with a president they didn't choose. That's not fair, and it's not right. We're not talking about majority rule. We're talking about making sure every vote is equal. The Electoral College is a relic that's holding us back. It's time to move forward to a system where every American, no matter where they live, has an equal say in who leads this country. That's what the people want, and that's what we should give them. It's time to put the people first and abolish this outdated system.
Temp, you're the one missing the forest for the trees. The Electoral College isn't rigged, it's a, well, minus thought, mechanism to maintain national unity. You say it gives power to a few states, but in reality, it spreads the political influence across the nation. Sure, candidates focus on swing states, but that's because they're the battlegrounds where different interests meet. Without the Electoral College, they'd focus solely on urban population centers. You're living in a utopia if you think candidates in a popular minus vote system would care about rural areas. You keep saying yes, every vote equal. But in a pure popular minus vote system, the votes of those in small states and rural areas would be drowned out. It's not about majority rule. It's about ensuring that the unique needs of every part of the country are represented. This isn't some relic holding us back. It's a crucial part of our democracy that stops the tyranny of the majority in urban areas. If we abolish it, we're risking turning the presidency into a popularity contest among city minus dwellers. That's not putting the people first. That's just catering to one segment of the population.